episode number 2 of Ball, Bucks, and Beards. We didn't really think we'd be here today. We thought this was a one-time deal, but I guess we're back by popular demand.
Man, we're back. It's kind of blowed up a little bit more than what I anticipated.
It has. I actually thought we'd be canceled after one. After one show, but here we are. I'm Jimbo Blackwell. That's Adam Epps. I'm gonna let him take it from here.
Man, we just want to kind of say thank you to everybody that's been subscribing and watching. We've had several texts and people reaching out, and it's been fun so far. I didn't think it was that great, but everybody else thought it was pretty good. Yeah. So we're gonna at least do episode number 2 today. Yeah. So if you guys want to listen, it's on YouTube. We are also on the Spotify now.
Oh, you got that?
We're on the Spotify.
Oh, we're big time.
We can't afford Apple. It's $20 a year, so we're working on that still. So anyway, we got a pretty good show lined up today, or we think we do. We're going to try to keep episodes dropping on Fridays. Don't know the specific time or anything just yet.
I think we decided 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. So we'll drop episodes on Fridays from here on out. And if you guys want to send in any kind of questions for us, you can do that. Our email is on the YouTube address, but it's also adamepps35@yahoo.com. So if you got any questions that are appropriate, we'll do our best on those. Yes. So anyway, let's talk about opening day a little bit right here.
Well, of course the weather, the weather was horrible.
Yeah.
I was sitting in a shooting house.
Was it Hurricane Francine?
I don't know, but it was a monsoon.
Yeah.
So, Bo's sitting in another shooting house, so I get a text. I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite a while yet. Movie. What movie?
I ain't got no clue. What is it? That's not enough.
Caddyshack.
You'll get nothing and like it.
Caddyshack. But anyway, I managed to hunt about 7 or 8 hours and saw 0 deer. Just a typical day for me at the Double F. And
I kind of sense like Bo is Mr. Optimistic, and you are not.
He's glass half full. Yeah. I'm glass half empty. But he did kill 2 pigs.
That's good.
From the hog box. We call it the hog box because we went about a week ago to check to get wasp nest out of stands, and a hog had actually been in that shooting house. It smelled horrible. One other story about Bo. He's supposed to be getting all the wasp nests. I asked him before I went to this shooting house Sunday morning. I said, Bo, did you get all the wasps out? Oh yeah, Dad. They're knocked them down. They're gone. So I get up there Sunday morning. It gets daylight. I look, and there's 8 or 9 wasps on a wasp nest about 3 feet from my head. So
did any of them get you?
No, they did not get me.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
What was his response to that? Did he have any?
LOL.
Yeah. I think that's what old people text, because I get that a lot, because I send LOL out a lot.
Well, I get
blistered on it.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I almost wore Hey Dudes today.
No.
I got Hey Dudes now. But anyway, I've learned how to use emojis on text.
I know, because you send them to me sometimes.
Yeah, I know, I'm right.
I don't think that goes with this right now. It's a blushing face or something. I'm like,
yeah, that's my go-to, the blushing face.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to send that to another man, but
oh, you're not.
That's a different topic.
Okay.
So,
well, don't worry, she'll never get another blushing face.
Yeah. So I went Sunday afternoon, and I was like, it's pouring down. But by the time I got there, it quit raining. I kind of set over this big old field that we've been getting some pictures of some bucks. And
it's okay if I check my text, by the way.
No. Yeah, go ahead and check your text.
Go ahead. No.
Would you listen to my story?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
And
you need to start over?
No, I don't need to start over.
All right, go ahead.
Basically, I just seen 3 does. That's it. Seen 3 does. They was like 300 yards away. I would have flung an arrow at them if they would have closed it a little bit, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been awful nice weather to clean the dough in.
Yeah. Oh, but I do got a good story about opening day.
What is it?
I'm driving to the stand, and I'm going around all these curves, and I see this dog in his front yard, and he's kind of hopping around like, what's that dog doing? I get up there close. The dog's trying to kill a chicken.
It wasn't Jumbo, was it?
I don't know, but that's all I could think of is he's got that chicken blood in him. He was trying to kill that chicken. Sure enough.
That's hilarious. I did go last night, yesterday evening, and it was a complete blow fest. Every doe on the farm blew at me. So, that stand's done for.
Yeah, so you didn't, the wind wasn't right.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Evidently not. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we can get into that a little bit later. So we got a couple of other things we're going to talk about today, but the first thing, let's get into some minor news according to the mainstream media. I guess they tried to kill my boy Trump again this weekend.
For the second time.
For God's sake.
That's some minor news.
It's minor news. There's a crazy man in the bushes with an AK-47 fixing to shoot old Donnie.
And he was out there for like 12 hours and nobody knew it.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. So evidently, Donnie decided to play golf kind of last minute. How did this guy know
Yeah.
that Trump was going to play
Well,
golf?
and then I think there was actually a news outlet there. I don't know if it's NBC or whoever. How'd they know he was going to go play golf?
Exactly.
There's some weird stuff.
I'm not buying what you're selling.
I'm not over assassination attempt number one.
Yeah.
Like, how is that just swept underneath the rug?
Yeah.
Some random dude carrying a 12-foot step ladder right in the middle of all that.
Yeah.
And
On the roof. That wouldn't put up a red flag.
Yeah, we could get into this for a long time,
Yeah.
but
But
I think that's their only hope.
I do hear the train coming.
The Trump train is rolling.
It's coming. 47 days till election day.
Yep. Make sure you vote. Get
Yeah.
out there and vote.
Yeah.
All right. On for sports. So
Okay.
when this thing drops, me and you will be at Missouri Basketball Coach Association coaching clinic at Columbia College in Columbia. I'm pretty excited about the lineup of speakers they got there. I think it's going to be a really, really good clinic. Who are you excited to listen to the most?
I'm excited to listen to Molly Miller, who used to be at Drury,
Yeah.
who's at Grand Canyon Valley or
Yep,
something.
Grand
D1,
Canyon
D1,
University, yep.
D1. But I've heard her speak before. She's really good. And of course, she did great things at Drury. And then I know you want to hear, and I'm also excited to hear Mike Neighbors from Arkansas.
Yep.
You can go ahead and tell a story about him.
Well, a couple years ago, me and Coach Cagle went to, instead of going to a regular clinic, we went to Arkansas University. He was going to watch, what's his name, the guy before Calipari, he's crazy. What's his name? Always.
The one, Musselman?
Yeah, Musselman. Yeah, he went to watch Musselman, and I went over and watched the women practice, and it was the coolest thing. Like, they just pulled me a chair up right on the sideline.
Oh, that would be
I'm the only other coach there, and they start practicing. All these assistant coaches are running stuff. Here comes Mike Neighbors. He just comes down and sits beside me and said, "What do you want to see today?" It's like, well, I really come to see some zone stuff because that's
Yeah.
all we ever get played against.
Right.
He goes, well, it's your lucky day, and that's all they did was zone stuff. We talked afterwards. He brought me up in his office. He gave me like a stack of books and a
That's
Razorback whistle. It was a really cool experience because most of the time you think those big D1 coaches,
Big
they
league,
just big league.
Yeah, I can't stand get big league.
No.
I mean, and that is a word, big league.
Yeah, big league. I got it. But he was really great. I'm excited to hear him. But Molly Miller is going to be my highlight of the show because a lot of the defensive stuff we do, I kind of have stole from her a little bit because she is so good at teaching on the ball defense. I mean, just little bitty stuff about.
And that's so important in our defense is how we guard the basket.
Yeah, having an athletic hand and having that down. So we're excited about it. We're taking a couple of other younger coaches with us, so should be a good time.
You know, I've been to several of those. Hadn't been to one in a while, but you know, a lot of times you get there and you get a guy that just tells stories like Charlie Spoonhour. He just told stories. Bob Huggins.
Yeah, Bobby Huggins. That was. He was there once, and that's all he did was tell stories, and I was just captivated. We didn't learn anything about basketball at all.
But heard some good stories.
Yeah, one time, what's that other? Stan Van Gundy was there, and I got to tell this story. Stan Van Gundy was there.
He would appear to me to be the most boring speaker ever.
It was pretty boring, but he don't think it is. So I got all these coaches in there, and of course me and Cagle show up late. So we're coming in, we got walked by everybody, we go sit down, and Stan Van Gundy's got on a pair of like joggers or sweats that were like from 1982, and they were short. They came up to like his calf, and somebody sent Cagle a text and said, why does Stan Van Gundy have on Epps pants or something? he thought it was funny. So yeah, thanks a lot, Nathan Walk. We'll get you back one day.
Yeah, well, by the way, speaking of that, I'm going to need some new gear, some new coaching gear, because last year you got me parkas and pants to wear.
No, the best one Bobby Ball got you after the OFC championship game.
Yeah. What?
Nice maternity top ball.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need some new gear, maybe. I may gain it all back between now and then.
Well, I hope not. We're going to get you a medium and it'll all be good. So, next up in sports, how about Don's football?
Hey, how about it?
And Coach Hampton running out 2-1 right now.
Just beat Kelly 60-0.
Just thumped them. And then Willow the week before.
What was it, 42?
32.
42.
It may have been.
Okay.
But they shut them out too. So, that's exciting to see.
That is exciting. And, you know, I talked to you the first day of school because Coach Hampton and I have a class.
Yeah.
The same hour. I listened to him talk. He was talking to his kids and stuff. And I came back and I told you, I said, he's got it.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember
that whatever it is, but he's got it.
Yeah, I think so too. And the kids like him. When it first started out, everybody's, they're making us slip. They're making us slip. I was like, well, good, because I think he's the guy. And because they just don't get to lay around a little bit. So Coach Hampton's doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Shout out to those guys. But let's get into the NFL a little bit and kind of going with football this week because it's football time.
It's football season. So, we talk about the Chiefs.
Red Kingdom. Yes, sir.
2-0. Two really close wins.
Yep.
But that's really not why we want to talk about the Chiefs. You want to go ahead and break into that?
I guess we're going to get into the Taylor Swift portion of the podcast today. We've had a lot of comments. Gabrielle told me, if you're going to talk about sports, you need to talk about Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. So what is your thoughts on the Swiftie?
I mean, I do get tired of turning and watching the game and, you know, half the time it's a picture of her up there in her box, you know, in her luxury box.
Yeah, we didn't come to see her.
A big, you know, love. I'm not a Swiftie.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a country music guy and classic rock. I couldn't even tell you one song she sings. Can you?
Oh yeah.
Coach, that's her.
Come on, give me one. No, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, good.
They play it at my house all the time.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Well, I will tell you this. I think she is probably the most talented artist that's been around in the past decade. Because nowadays nobody writes their own music.
Right.
And she writes her own music. She performs her own music. It ain't like, here you go, here's your song, and then she sings it. She does her own stuff. And before she was big, that's how she made her mark, is she was a songwriter and got hired as a songwriter first.
Right.
So she is talented, but I don't know. It brings a lot of other people to watch the games that would never watch the games. You're getting a lot of women. Well, what age class would you call that? Some from like 15 to 50 that...
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're watching the games that they wouldn't regularly be watching. Right. But I think she falls into this category. She falls in this category of things that I wish I could like, but
you just can't.
But I can't for the things they stand for.
Exactly.
You know, she's really been outspoken on her political stuff. And here's another thing. And this is what gets athletes in trouble nowadays and like made Jordan just like so much up here compared to LeBron and all these other people, is Jordan never got on there and talked about any of that stuff.
No,
he just played ball.
He just played.
And that kept both sides of the fence. Everybody loved Jordan, and still to this day. And everybody else wants to like kneel at the anthem and all this stuff. That's how you lose. I mean, 3/4 of the people that want to watch.
I can't. Here's what gets me about kneeling for the anthem. First of all, you probably have too. I've had relatives that have fought in wars.
Yeah.
You know, but what gets me about kneeling for the anthem is, in what other country can you make millions of dollars playing a game?
Yeah.
You go.
Well, here's this. And what would they do to you in North Korea if you decided you wasn't going to stand up for the anthem?
Yep.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's frustrating. But she falls into this category, and I got Steph Curry, Starbucks, and Chunky Monkey.
Yeah, well, I have no idea what Chunky Monkey means.
I'm
What's
just
that?
telling
What
you.
is that?
It's the best ice cream that there ever was. I wish their company wasn't so outspoken.
Right.
Way over on the other side, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I just give in. And Haley, go run to Hearts and get me some Chunky Monkey because I need it. But yeah, Chunky Monkey's the stuff. You need to try it.
I'm not an ice cream guy, believe it or not. I don't like sweets.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I mean, I know you can tell by looking at me. You know, you don't get a finely tuned body like this with, if you don't eat right.
Yeah,
you know how well
I remember because my daughter baked you brownies and come in and was like, hey Jimbo, I baked you some brownies, and you walk by and go, no thanks, and just kept on going.
I didn't know
she cried for about a week and a half over that.
I didn't know she made them specifically for me.
For Pete's sake.
I thought she made them in class or something. I did feel bad, but
you did take the brownies anyway, so it's okay.
And Steph Curry, love the way Steph Curry plays, but
dang man, I want everything alike, everything he does.
I can't be a fan of his.
Just don't get on there.
For.
Yeah, don't get on there and tell me who I got to vote for.
Guy like Steve Kerr saying.
I don't even like him. He's not even the core of things I want to like.
Yeah, I can't. Just can't do it.
He's definitely off the list. But the Chiefs are playing good. Yeah. I like Mahomes.
Have you ever been to a Chiefs game?
No, I gotta go. I told Gabriel we gotta take Jordan. I want to go so bad. Pachenko, he's having a great year.
Pacheco. Yeah.
All right, I stand corrected.
Okay.
But he's having a great year. So I like the Chiefs. We're Chiefs people in my house.
Last week you mispronounced Mosaic. It's Mosaic.
Mosaic?
Yeah, it's not Mosaic. It's not John Mosaic.
I don't think you're right.
No.
Yeah, the same guy that says that Panther Thomas is a real person. He's trying to tell me how to pronounce names.
And yeah, it is. I was going to tell you to Google it, but I kind of am Google.
Oh, for Pete's sake. What college did Chris Mullins play at?
St. John's.
Dennis Rodman.
Northeast Oklahoma.
Scottie Pippen.
Central Arkansas.
Clyde Drexler.
University of Houston. Phi Slama.
Name 3 other players on the team.
Larry, Mr. Me Shaw, Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Young, Benny, the human highlight film, Anders. First man off the bench.
Name me the Fab 5 that's not Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, or Jalen Rose.
Jimmy King and Ray Jackson.
Okay, that's it. All right, good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay.
How about Mizzou football? You want to talk about Mizzou football, so I'm just going to let you have it.
You know, they're 3-0. And they're ranked like 6th in the country, depending on which poll you look at, but they're ranked like 6th in the country. They beat Boston College, who was ranked.
I did look at Boston College. Looks like a pretty good win.
Yeah.
I think they beat Florida State, which everybody else is beating right now too. But they're ranked what right now?
Missouri?
No, Boston College.
I think they were ranked 24th going into last Saturday's game. You know, I've been a Missouri fan all my life, and it's hard to be a Missouri fan. Because they've never been very good.
Who else have they beat?
Murray State.
Does Murray State even have a football team?
Yeah, they do. But this is like Missouri's got Vanderbilt at home this week, who's the worst team in the SEC. But this is a time when you're a Missouri fan that they absolutely rip your heart out, because it's time for them to have a clunker and let somebody like Vanderbilt come in and beat them 28-0 at home.
Well, I think their schedule does get a little bit tougher as it gets later.
Yeah, they're in SEC.
I've seen Bama.
That's big boy football.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think they're letting 12 teams in the college football playoffs this year.
They are?
I think that's right. Somebody may have to correct us if we're wrong.
I didn't know if it was 8 or 12, but
this place would be absolutely nuts if Mizzou got in that.
I know.
That would be absolutely wild.
But the chances of that.
Come on, I got half full.
It's half empty. It's half empty.
Come on, man. I don't have much to say about Mizzou football. I don't really watch it very much.
Well, you need to.
I think I know one player, Chase
it.
Daniels, who's probably working at a gas station now or something.
Coach Chase Daniel was a backup quarterback in the NFL for 12 years. He's actually like an announcer now.
Okay, good job. And then
that's the only Missouri football player.
Beckham.
Green.
Okay.
Well, he got in a little trouble. He wasn't there long.
Yeah, I think.
But they've got the wide receiver right now, Luther Burden III, that is supposedly going to be the number 1 pick in the whole draft.
So we need to know that guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's the foosball segment of the week right there.
Yeah.
So enough of the sports business. Let's get into hunting. Let's talk a little bit more about that. You said something about the moon. Let's get you going on your full moon.
So I watch all these hunt videos, and I hear these guys say, "Well, you could, full moon doesn't matter when you're hunting." Well, I can tell you at my farm, if it's a full moon, you might as well stay in the house. I don't care if it's peak of the rut, perfect weather, blah, 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 perfect wind, you might as well stay in the house. Because they just absolutely do not move their daylight hours.
I've heard that a lot. I know there's a moon theory, and I think there's something about the red moon. And the only thing that I run into is I am not a pro hunter.
Yeah,
I have a job.
Right.
So, and we go to ball games, we're in the gym, we got kids that play. So, the opportunities to go hunting are not very plentiful. Right. So when I get a chance to go, I don't want to hear anything negative to try to keep me from going. I'm going. I don't care what the moon is. I'm just going to go. And sometimes I think that does play into the picture. Nothing was out feeding Sunday evening, and that may have something to do with it. But I'm still going to go because there's always could be that chance.
Well, if you go this weekend, it's going to be 90 degrees and a full moon. So I'm just going to tell you, just stay home.
Is it?
You stay home. Yeah.
But you might be able to get by water. I've had
it's full moon. I'm not gonna move during the day.
Well, I hate to tell you, I'm going anyway.
Well,
I'm going anyway. Well, one of the deer I killed, I showed you this video. I spine shot him.
Oh, the spiner.
Yeah, the old spiner.
Yeah.
It was closer to the red.
How'd you kill that with the bow or crossbow?
It's real bow hunting. First off, I've had a little bit of heat on the old.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit.
On a little bit of the
Coach Russell got
Corey Russell.
Corey Russell got a little.
I've had a couple other people say something too. Is I don't have a problem with it, just as long as you call it crossbow hunting and not bow hunting, because it is not the same thing.
Well, it's definitely easier with a crossbow.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people. I had a kid that I coached. I seen he had a crossbow in his truck, saying, "I'm going out." I said, "Why are you using a crossbow?" Well, he's got some type of something wrong with his shoulder and he can't draw. That's different, and that's totally fine. Some people have surgeries and they can't pull back a bow no more. So it is what it is. But yeah, I've got a little heat on the old crossbow bow situation.
I knew you were going to.
Yeah, but that's all right. That makes it a little bit more fun.
You talking about the full moon? I actually knew a guy from around here that used to sell hunts. He used to sell hunts he had high fence and he was selling hunts for $4,000 or $5,000. And he would not even book a hunt during the full moon.
That's wild.
Yeah. So we can test that out. Our next podcast, we can see if we get to number 3.
Yeah, we got to get to episode number 3 first.
Chances are probably 50-50.
Yeah, we had 450 views.
I know.
by Monday. I couldn't believe it.
I'm absolutely shocked.
I don't know if I've just been in there 450 times just looking and seeing the vet counts or what it is. But anyways, back to that story where I killed old Spiner.
Okay.
The conditions were terrible. It was awful. It was a weird warm spell, and it was in October. It was hot. It got hot. The wind was blowing 30 miles an hour. And I was like, I'm going anyway because it's bow hunting time. I'm going to be out there. And I went and just got in the bottom, kind of shielded from the wind. And
so
Spiner was chasing the doe.
Oh, he was chasing?
Yep, he was chasing the doe. And
so do you believe in October lull?
No, I don't believe in any of that stuff.
Okay.
I just believe you don't know where they're at. You have to adjust, and you've got to move your tactics to be able to find them.
Well, yeah, and if there's a good acorn crop, that makes it hard.
They're moving someplace. It just there's 1,000 trees dropping.
Yeah, in which you got to pick the right tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which means you kind of got to know where they're bedding, which makes it is hard. But all that October lull, the full moon, it's raining, the conditions and all that. It's just stuff that keeps it keeps you from wanting to go. Like,
Right.
and I don't want any of that stuff in my head. And it may all be true. Like, just if I get an opportunity to go, I want to go. So, that being said, what do you think, like, buck activity? I've not seen a whole lot of people with, buck kills.
Well, I haven't either. I think I saw one where some guy in St. Genevieve killed a big buck Sunday or whatever, but I don't think buck activity is going to be very good.
Scale 1 to 10 right now. What's buck activity?
2.
2. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go with that. I'd say 1 or 2 as far as
And-
daylight movement.
And believe it or not, they know, and we've talked about this before. They know, big bucks now know that they're being hunted.
Yeah.
After 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, whatever.
And
they
when
know.
we're talking big bucks, you're talking some 4, 5, 6-year-old buck.
Buck,
They have
yeah.
lived through
Yes.
4, 5, or 6 seasons, and they know when the goons start wandering into the woods and they're hanging stands and they're checking cameras, like they say, okay,
Mhm.
it's that time for me to go back into nocturnal, or I'm only in the thick stuff. But
Yeah, well,
I still think early season, if you could ever get one that you know what they're doing consistent, you got a really good chance.
yeah,
It's-
but I think you gotta. I think after the first time you set on that stand, your chances go down.
I agree.
78%.
That's why you need to convert to the old mobile hunting, Jimmy, where you just you hunting a different tree
Jimmy
every time you
Jimmy
go.
don't do climbers. No.
What about hang on? You just put the stick up.
No, because you're up there.
I do it
You're
all.
up there 30. Well, no, but you're up there 30 feet,
That's kind of.
and you're sitting in a little chair like this, and you got no rails on the side. I'm looking down there
I
like,
got to draw. But
I'm looking down there like, that's a long
Are you
ways.
afraid of heights?
Not if I got rails up there. If I got rails, I'll climb 50 feet, but if I don't have rails,
I'm just saying it gets you from hunting the same spot a bunch. So
Well,
that's one of the benefits.
that's true.
of
But
that
then you're, I also have a term. Then you're turning that into labor hunting. You know what I mean? If you gotta work so hard just to get to your tree stand or get a tree stand up, it's supposed to be fun. Not
If it was easy, everybody
Oh,
would
okay.
do it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Come on,
Okay.
let's not get into that.
okay.
It- anything worth doing is it's going to be hard
I know
work.
that. I know that, but hunting is supposed to be fun.
Yeah, working hard is fun.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes it ain't.
Or
Yeah, it's my kids on the weekend. They're trying to hide in their rooms. Like,
or
Dad's gonna have us doing something. Let's act sick or
yeah.
something.
I know about that. Whereas one of our coaching colleagues used to say, work smarter, not harder. You probably don't remember who that was.
No, I
I can't tell you. I can't tell you from here, but you'll figure it out.
Okay.
Work
okay.
smart. We're working maintenance in the summer, and he's doing something. He's pulled a chair out.
Oh, I know.
Sitting in a chair doing it. You know.
He lives in Eminent somewhere.
Nope.
Oh.
No. No, we can't talk about that. You're right. Couldn't have run that.
Yes, that's okay.
Okay.
So anyway, weekend deer forecast. You said it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Are you
I don't
going
think-
at all?
Yeah, I may go. See, I'm different because of my fear of snakes.
Oh,
I mean, I have a
we got a
legitimate-
good story about a snake today, by the way.
I have a legitimate fear of snakes. I mean, I do not like walking out there.
Well, I got this one spot that I want to go to really bad, and it's in like this huge bottom, and this bottom is nasty, and it's got this spring-fed creek that's always has water, it's always running, and it's so green down there. It's like,
Yeah.
I've killed a couple pretty decent bucks down there, but I am scared to death of getting into a snake down there. Because if I was a snake, that'd be the best place to live. It's got those big rocky bluffs going down
Oh,
the
yeah.
ridge. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some rattlesnake in here that's 8 foot long
Mhm.
is going to be around somewhere.
Well, when I went out Sunday morning, of course it was like 70 degrees. I got there before daylight, but I took the flashlight on my phone. Before I stepped in that shooting house, it's got windows, burlap over the windows. I shined that shooting house for about 20 minutes. Every little nook and cranny, there's some leaves on the floor. I shined them, make sure. Yeah.
I'm telling my snake story right now.
Okay.
I've had a couple people that have actually come talk to me that they hunt too, and like after we listen to you guys' podcast, like we were checking for snakes because they were scared to death. I swear. It was some kid at school, but he was like, I was checking for snakes. I was like, so anyway, I got a couple snake stories, but this one ain't gonna help you. So if you're scared of snakes, just close your ears. But I was hunting in my grandma's woods, which I lived, I was there all the time as a kid. I know that place like the back of my hand. So I went hunting, and I was coming out, and there's 4-wheeler trails, so I don't even use a flashlight. So I'm just booking it on. This was before I've ever been tainted by seeing a snake.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm just rolling on through there, and all of a sudden, I just catch something out of the corner of my eye, just kind of, just gonna jump. I was like, what was that? So I turn on my light, and all of a sudden, I start hearing, can you silence your phone, Jimmy, during the podcast?
Well, what if it's got to do with the podcast? Let me check it.
Okay, check it.
Maybe we got some questions.
No, we don't. We're not live. We're not live right now, Jimmy. So how are we going to have questions?
My bad. Hang on. I got my deer camera went off.
Okay, go ahead and
Let me
check.
check it. This could be.
You're wearing me out, bro.
That's a buzzer.
Okay, good job. So anyway, I turn on the light, and all of a sudden I hear these jumper cables start tapping it. I said, what the crap is that? It is a stinking rattlesnake.
You're kidding.
And it is rattling, which I've never heard that sound.
I haven't either.
But if you ever hear it, it stays inside your soul because it is like 2 jumper cables just touching off, and it has grown the sheds over its eyes, and it is blind striking. And I just froze. Like I couldn't move. It was like you hear about people getting in shock. I couldn't do anything. It's like, so I get my wits about me, and I decide I'm going to shoot it with my bow in the dark. So I flashlight.
Can I ask why?
It's in the moment.
Could you picked up a rock or something?
I didn't want to touch the ground because I was scared to death. So I drew back and I shot at it and missed, of course, because.
Well, yeah.
So then I found there was a metal chair out there in the woods. So I grabbed that and I threw it at it, and it was still there. And I was like, I'm scared to move because there could be more of them.
Yeah, that's going to be my question. Did you go ahead and go hunting?
It was coming out of the woods. I was leaving.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, the moral of the story was the snake was about that long. It wasn't very big at all.
Don't matter.
But it's
It
scary.
don't matter.
And I was like, where's its mom? Where's its mom? Where's its mom? So finally, I guess I just prayed through it, and I just took off as hard as I could. And that changed everything I did. Going to my stand and coming away. I went out there with a 2-iron because I was scared to death. That has changed everything, and that's probably been 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It scared me to death.
I get it. Trust me. I would have went full cardiac arrest.
Yeah. And I told you that one I shot on opening day last week. I was talking about I shot that buck on opening day.
Right.
And it was picture perfect. It ran out of the food plot and it was staggering. And I knew it died right there. It crashed.
Right.
So I waited till dark, and I went I was going to track it and go and get it and all that. And I had to step over this log to get there. And when I stepped over the log, I looked down, and there is the Hershey Kiss copperhead. His body's laid over the log, and I don't know which end is his head and which end is his tail, but it was huge. It was like the size of a bike tire. It was fat.
Yeah.
And so I was like, my foot wasn't even down yet, and I seen it, and it just went like that. And I just turned around and took off running. I didn't even go. I went back with the 4-wheeler to get the deer, and I was too scared to get off the 4-wheeler. It's like,
oh yeah,
that's enough to change it forever, because they're out there, folks.
Yeah, they are.
And they're moving around. This is their last little hurrah.
Yeah. Well, August is like baby copperheads are born.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And they say they have just as much venom as.
They can't control it or something. So when they bite, you get the full dose.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the hunting. That's the deer stories. We're just about out of time right here. So I think we got a story. I think you got a story to close us out today.
Okay. Well, do you want to hear the Rooster or the 3-buck whooping story?
I think I want to hear Rooster.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Rooster. Okay, this is Rooster story. This is true
Before
story.
it stops, put your phone on silent.
I don't know how.
Give it to me.
Here. Don't be reading my text.
I don't want to read your emojis. there. I just don't want to hear the dinging.
Did you just turn it off?
No, I just
Oh, okay.
turned it on silent.
I got our time on there too, by the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
good job.
Okay, so Rooster, this is a true story. So my wife wanted, this has been a long time ago, she wanted a chicken. We live out there on the farm, she wanted a chicken, so I found her she wanted a rooster. So
There's a difference in chicken.
I get it, yeah, I know. So I found her a rooster. Well, come to find out, it's one of these, like fighting, like one of these game. Yeah, it's mean. I'm talking, we just got one rooster. I mean, it's mean. I mean, Jason would ride the four-wheeler, and it would ride along, jog along beside him, and try to peck their ankles and the tires, and you'd get out of the truck, and it'd peck your ankles all the way to the door. But it loved my wife. I mean, she would get out there and pet it, and it would just coo, and I mean, just.
So it sounds like a rooster from hell.
Yeah, it was. So one day, I come home from school, I'm the only one home. I get out of my truck, and forgot something over the passenger seat of my truck, so I lean over the passenger seat to get it, and that rooster flies up and pokes me right in the butt, and it hurt bad, and I flew mad. So we were doing some remodeling at the time, and we had a bunch of 2x4s laying out there in the yard. So I just went, of course, when I walk over to the 2x4s, it's following me, pecking my ankles. So I just pick up the 2x4, and I just go wham, and it falls over dead. I'm talking about graveyard dead. Feathers are everywhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
Sounds like a
what am I
good
gonna
thing.
do now?
Well, it sounds like a good thing.
Well, she really liked this rooster.
Oh, yeah.
So I go in the house, get me a Walmart bag, get it all cleaned up, take it back to the dump. She gets home and she goes, where's Rooster? I don't know, he wasn't here when I got here. I don't know. I said, neighbor's dog's probably got him. She's like, well, I know who it was, I'm gonna call him, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think it's the neighbor's dog, it's probably a coyote or something like that, you know. So anyway, that got that smoothed over. So about 4 years later, she still thinks that the coyote or whatever got Rooster. About 4 years later, by the way, that was the name of this.
That's
Rooster
very creative.
was his name.
Very creative.
Yeah. So about 4 years later, we're in an argument. I mean, we're going at it, we're in an argument. And she says, oh yeah? She says, you got beat in the state championship game by 30 points. And I said, oh yeah?
Below the belt.
Oh yeah. And I said, oh yeah? I killed Rooster. And yeah, wasn't good. Wasn't good.
We don't need to know what happened after that because it sounds pretty bad.
So that's the Rooster story.
That's a great story.
Yeah. You
Well,
got one?
huh?
You got one?
No, my story was a snake. I think yours is good enough to carry us off today.
Okay.
But, thanks everybody for watching. If you wouldn't carry, go ahead and hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. You can catch it on Spotify. We're going to drop it on Fridays. But for Jimbo Blackwell, I'm Adam Epps. This is Ball, Bucks, and Beards, and we're out of here. See you, everybody.
See ya.